Good evening. So, welcome to a new week of Frankie and Danny coronavirus public information help and support channel, and our now internationally famous CoronaCasts, public service information, opinion and advice dealing with COVID 2019. Yes, big hello to our North of England correspondent, Paul Nichols, who has realised that I've got the mask. Indeed, I've got the mask at hand because COVID-19 has come to the Orihuela Costa, where I am. If you're familiar with the broadcast, I am located. It doesn't look very sunny and beachy and sandy where I am. I'm in my apartment. It's rather chilly after quite a beautiful sunny day. It has to be said, a warm one too. But we have our first case in Murcia, which is a beautiful inland city, south end of the Orihuela Costa. Little regarded as a different part of Spain, but where I am and Frankie, our co-host, absent tonight. Absent tonight, but returning with more broadcast and live pieces for you this week coming up. He's located South Orihuela Costa. I would say for the two of us, it's about a 25-minute drive to Morphia. Anyway, a lady of a certain age, i.e. target group, yeah, tends to be the elderly, the senior citizens who are most vulnerable to COVID-19. Apparently has returned from very possibly a family visit to Madrid, where she contracted coronavirus and has now brought it back to Morphia. So we don't have any more news about what's happened to her. Hopefully she's been taken to isolation in hospital where she's got appropriate care. I think I might save the other story for you for tomorrow, actually, when I had a bit more update. But I've had some news too that people have been returning to our Orihuela Costa expatriate seaside retirement spot. People returning from holidays in Italy with virus. We've been hearing some reports of that too. So very, very worrying news. But is it really cause for panic? And this is what we're going to be discussing with our reporter, our North of England correspondent, Paul Nichols, tonight. And if we can do our best to go live to him now. Here we are, we're just reaching him on Messenger. At home in Rochdale, but he's been surveying the landscape, and he'll be giving us his end of weekend impressions. Spanish beer in tow. Hello, North of England correspondent Paul D. Nichols. How are you this bright and almost finished day?
Excellent.
Quite a big victory in the footballing world, wasn't it? Quite a big, quite triumphant event today.
Yes, very good. 2-0. Yes,
a 2-0 Mancunian victory over the noisy neighbours. The blue side are not going to be too happy, so bragging rights for the Reds this week. Yeah. So Paul's been out and about. Anything changed since we spoke to you Any new developments since we spoke to you this week in terms of the COVID-19 landscape?
Just the numbers, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know where we are now. 400. Where we are?
The UK. I know we were 100 Friday. We had a leap. Well, actually no. I was consulting Frankie about this last night.
273 we're at now.
Exactly, mate. Exactly. This is quite a leap. This is indeed quite a leap. Yeah. What happened was it's a funny thing because I think it was Friday evening we were just sort of chatting socially, weren't we, about our skepticism, our doubts about the panic, really, about the massive
well,
obsession and hysterics.
In the video
Yeah,
on you fighting over bog roll is pretty pathetic, isn't it?
exactly.
You see somebody with 10 bog rolls, you think, I'll grab 3, and I'll grab 3, and just like I got a couple today, but I thought, well, not panic buying. I just got were 12 rolls, which is family of 4.
You just got your 12 pack for the month ahead. Yeah.
Pasta, though. I'm not going out buying batteries and all the rest of the shit.
No air rifles, automatic weaponry. No.
Machine. Yeah,
exactly. You're not building an underground bunker, etc. below the conservatory. Not yet. Something in the loft. Yeah, armored. A panic room, etc. Yeah. Well, that's it. I mean, obviously, we saw the video in Australia. Big fight in a supermarket. First corona casualty of rioting. I was thinking, but it didn't quite go that far.
It's not even Black Friday, is it? It's like you should call it Green Friday.
Yeah, Corona Friday. Yeah.
Not fighting for bog rolls. I mean, why bog rolls? Is it like, do they think that the bog roll factories are going to close and these people who are on low to medium wages aren't going to keep the factory running? They'll be on bonuses galore.
I guess it's helping the economy in some ways.
Doing good already. If you've got a shop, retail's up on certain things. It's not all bad, is it?
Well, I think you could go on eBay and you could sell your alcohol, your rubbing gel. You could sell it for 60 quid a bottle now, with such of a shortages. You could look for 3 figures, couldn't you?
You can get a £3 bottle of vodka and put that in 10 litres of water. That'll do the same thing. Bleach, soap and water is actually more effective than hand sanitizer. It's bullshit. Soap and water is the best thing ever.
Well, this is it. I mean, they need the toilet roll in the house, and they need their hand rub in their handbag. So as soon as they, walk into a new cafe for a super latte or something, they can rub themselves vociferously.
Rub yourself
thoroughly and vigorously in almost an autoerotic way. Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, our big question is for today is.
Was your mask?
Sorry, mate.
What was that mask?
I was Frankie gave me this yesterday. We went on a supermarket sweep to see if there was a similar levels of panic on the Orihuela Costa, and I tell you, the whole of there was not a single mega packet of toilet roll out of place. Everything was just pristine, untouched, and we found about 50 to 100 units of hand wash. We saw so much hand wash, no one had picked anything up. That's Spain for you, mate. No one's taking it seriously yet. Death rate is up to 15.
There's been no cases in Rochdale. There've been 3 in Bolton.
Okay.
They only 12 in Hertfordshire, but that covers thousands of people. So it's just not happening, is it? And has anybody died today? Probably 1,400 people. Which
no. You'd get like the rugby would stop. The Manchester Derby would stop, and they would just stop everything if they'd announced there's been a third death, mate, if it happened in the UK, because the media has gone absolutely crazy.
4,000 dead out of 1 billion is a lot. It's nothing. It's not even
China.
Nothing of a percent. It's just negligible.
Well,
as many fucking manos.
Now this is the skeptical side that you're speaking out for now. You're repping for the Corona skeptics because we know that after 6 months of the bird flu, there were about 20,000 dead in China, and 20 to 40,000 maybe. And the reports coming out of China, of course, at the moment, are that the number of cases is decreasing. The peak has passed.
We're looking at 4,000 to 5,000, maybe 10,000. It's still not like the bird flu. And did we see any panic over that here? Not really. It's just one of them things, isn't it?
We're not seeing any more panic in China, but we're seeing hysteria. We're seeing hysteria in the UK and the United States. Yeah.
Yeah, no hand sanitizer. I could even buy some lemon fucking wipes, just to wipe whatever with.
Okay.
All gone.
Apologies for the language. We'll have to go out after 9 o'clock, won't we? Watershed. Yeah, that's the thing. Well, what happened on Saturday with the UK though was that it doubled. The number of cases doubled, and quite.
We sort of predicted because people are off, will get diagnosed on a Saturday. And it happened last Saturday. There was a big, massive jump. I think it was only 40, but obviously it was a massive jump then. So yeah, that's correct. Yeah, Saturday we'll see a massive uploading.
So you're basically saying people go out to the doctor on a Saturday morning and get themselves tested, and there we are, another 100 coming. Could well be. Anyway, for the media, this is an enormous shock, though. I mean, Sky News have the experts on 24/7 talking about how we could be the next Italy, because Italy, the government have gone absolutely hysterical, and they're really treating this as World War III. Yeah, mate. The death toll is up to 366, but the most significant.
It's over 8 weeks. It's not a lot, is it? Again, it's not a lot, is it? You've got to divide it out by the number of weeks they've had it.
40 deaths a week in a population of about 40 to 50 million. The thing about Europe, mate, is that everyone's so kind of spoilt and superior and well protected that we think, so a few 100 people have died, and everyone goes crazy. It's just it couldn't happen here syndrome,
Oh, well, these people could have it, but they're not dying from it. They just died. They happen to have it, so there's those figures intertwined in that as well. It's just one of them things, isn't it?
I've got a word for today, a word for this evening. The new word is endemic. Now, has the media picked up on this word endemic? I heard it from a YouTube caster, very bright young fellow, as a Satanist in Vermont, I think, or Indiana.
So what does it mean?
Endemic means everyone has it. It means like universally incubated by the population. Pandemic means it goes.
At some point you probably will do like any other cold or any other flu. Yeah, you probably get it.
Yeah.
Or you don't get it. You don't get it this week. You get it next week. So yeah.
I mean, no one's conscious of getting it until they get very sick, which is, as we've been told, is likely to be vulnerable people. So everyone gets a late winter cold, let's say, which is a bit fluier than they expect. But I mean, the implications of endemic is that there's no longer a containment strategy. I mean, no one bothers about, restricting travel. They haven't restricted travel anyway, mate, to be honest.
Just take it, get over it, move on.
They haven't restricted travel, mate. We've had to put up with idiots spreading it. I've said a story about senior people, retired people with a bit of money coming back from Italy to Spain, where we live, and then going out and socialising. People of a certain age, socialising with other people of a certain age, yeah. And they've come back from Milan, which has been locked down for 2 weeks now, with the coronavirus in full flow. Yeah, bud, they've been allowed to travel back, mate. They've been allowed to travel back, and once they get back, they do what the hell they feel like. This is it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Not in my backyard, innit, NIMBY? Not in my backyard.
No, I can't be me. No. I'm going out because I'm the centre of the universe. I'm going to have 2 glasses of wine, maybe go on a karaoke, and sneeze on everyone. Yeah.
And that's it. Sneeze on the paella.
Yeah. And I'll try and do that for a week, and then I might actually be found face down in a swimming pool, but I've given it another 2,000 people. Hopefully.
Yeah. And I've gone tried to do the breaststroke, and I've had a cardiac arrest, and I'm now brown bread. Well done.
Yeah. So this is what happens, buddy. This is what I mean by endemic. There's always going to be there's going to be hundreds of idiots who spread it everywhere.
These diehards. I must go to work. I must get on that flight.
This is what Donald Trump said, isn't it? Go to work. Anticipate. Yeah. anticipating the idiocy, Um, so where were we? I've gone. I was being slightly pulled towards the conspiracy end of things a few days ago, just looking at the hysteria, the panic, and how that was translating into, idiot buying of toilet roll stuff like that. But now I've got this endemic feeling, that but it's going to be basically a strong common cold for the most people, but something a lot nastier for those who are, yeah.
Yeah, this is just why they're trying to delay it, isn't it? They're trying to delay it, and I don't think there'll not be a cure coming around because next year there'll be a new strain of flu.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's pointless now. And if you've had it and been immunising you, then just getting, I suppose, a dose of illness again. Absolutely fuck off.
That's right. There will very possibly be some kind of vaccine available next autumn, which we're told is an effective vaccine, but possibly isn't really ready. It'll just be a.
Well, you get the next flu.
Yeah, because it will have mutated into something else. Yeah, because it's endemic with us now, but it's like a new animal in the ecosystem. You can say, yeah.
From bats and monkeys or pigs. It might come from camels or cows or.
Yeah, I mean, the animals will get it. It'll be in the milk, mate. It'll be in dairy products. I would not surprise me.
Start messing with the food chain. That's it, isn't it? It's.
Well, you don't want it to be killing animals because it will mutate in it. It could very well mutate with animal contact. Sorry, it could. But my feeling is it'll just get into the milk, into the dairy product chain, and children will develop an immunity to it quite naturally. That's my feeling. Yeah.
Corona cheese.
Yeah. Corona cheese. Well, I mean, they cured smallpox via milk, via the old, was it milk? The milkmaids, cowpox. Yeah, they used cowpox to cure smallpox, of course. Which is still the nastiest plague.
They should try using peanut butter or CCP.
Yeah. Now smallpox is. Yeah. I mean, smallpox is regarded as still the world's top chemical weapon. In fact, they still do a lot of research on smallpox because terrorists are trying to either steal it or simulate it. So smallpox is still up there, mate. I'm telling you. So I mean, so in relation to the plagues of the past, the great diseases that killed cholera, smallpox, that killed millions. We're not there. We're going a bit crazy with the quarantine stuff. I think we should start to get used to the endemic situation, as you say. Look at food. Look at maybe the vaccines they can try out on people. Not going to kill anyone. I think that's where we are. I think we should probably just try and carry on with life now, and maybe just look out for old people.
Yeah. Just crack on in it. If you get it, get better. If you don't, what can you do? It could be flu anyway. It could be the flu. Could be that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm interested to see what happens with the warmer temperatures. See, it's been really mild this weekend. Has that had an effect like in Italy?
It's bad. It's bad. Yeah, I know this from the Mediterranean. We've had a warm February, not an exceptionally cold January. We've had it wet. Yeah, it's been wet as well. Unusually wet in the last 12 months. We've had loads of bugs down here on Costa Blanca.
I think dry, warm, humid will kill it. No, hot heat. I mean,
dry heat. Yeah.
Dry heat, yeah, but opposed to like cold, the virus seems to flourish.
Absolutely, as you see in China, North Asia, yeah. Warm and wet, perfect, sort of humid.
So if we get into March, summer here, an early warm Easter, then it'll kill it out, I guess.
I think it will. I mean, I don't think there's any cause to be panicked in the UK. I think that it's well established in Germany and Italy at the moment.
Get out, get some fresh air, and give your immune system a boost.
That's it.
Go
Yeah.
out for a
Take your pills, but get some more.
If you're not fit, then it's your own fault.
That's
if you're
it.
ill, no excuse. You do something.
It's precisely
Don't
it.
doing nothing.
No.
Do something.
Well, you should not be burying yourself in front of the news, going hysterical and putting on weight, just fretting and doing nothing.
You can wipe your arse with leaves at the end of the day, innit?
You can get into the garden and dig a hole, you know. You can build yourself a shed and put a potty in it.
Spray a bidet. You can make a bidet out of a bit of rubber bum, couldn't you? Blow it. Your boss.
You can do what babies do. Wear a nappy, something like that, yeah.
Wear a nappy. I don't nappies, but I'll make some. I'll make some.
Well, you know, make out of old t-shirts, I don't know.
Yeah, don't panic by people. It's plus you've probably got a fire hazard there of like having 2016 toilet rolls go up. Is that a multiple? You know, probably somebody bought 1,024.
Oh yeah, the supply and demand, they've just stockpiled and they're pushing the, I don't know, they're pushing the cost of paper up to 1,000% or something.
I don't buy some alcohol, sanitizer, and keep that next to the matches. And if it all goes to shit,
yeah, crazy, innit?
Craziness, innit?
Yeah, well, we're trekking on, really. I mean, I'd say to you, if you turn on Sky News tonight, you'll see them going absolutely mad because they'll spend.
Tonight. We're gonna have some flooding tomorrow and some more.
You got rain coming. Got rain coming in the UK. Ooh.
Yeah, got it. We've got something like 1,000 years rain in about 3 minutes or something. It's going to be one of them, yeah. It rains for 5 minutes and everywhere like saturated, yeah.
Well, I mean,
it's going to rain up now, which is bad up here because it's saturated anyway.
Yeah. So, yeah. All the floodplains are completely saturated.
Just another storm. Storm Monday night, it's called. Storm Sunday into Monday.
Storm Sunday Monday. It's a few hours away. My goodness. That will mean that Hebden Bridge and Ramsbottom underwater.
Yeah, hopefully Ramsbottom.
There'll be no northern middle class left.
People. My goodness me.
There'll be no one middle class left in the north of England, will there? Everyone else will take over. Yeah. Be like Brexit all over again. Yeah. Tough stuff.
I think Ramsbottom and Hebden Bridge had some sort of virus in the 1300s, and it actually.
Did they? The Black Death.
They all have phlebotomy that has remained the same ever since.
Oh yeah, controversial.
One of those places.
There are particular populations, yeah. Not the kind of people you see coming down to the Costa Blanca, it has to be said. More like wine tours of Provence and things like that, I would say. Yeah. There we are. Well, anyway, I'd advise you to turn on Sky News and see if they've had a week to go. Absolutely hysterical about this. Constant roundtables.
We're going to wait till the 9 or 10 o'clock news because that seems to be more condensed and updated. Better leave it. Yeah, I'll get to about 9 or 10 o'clock.
All night as well, mate. All night long.
Have another update tomorrow if you want. And see where we're at tomorrow.
We'll have an update tomorrow. We'll get some more news from Frankie about whether St. Patrick's Day is going ahead. Now, this is quite big in Manchester too.
I mean, is decision for the whole of Spain, the Spanish Irish community?
No, Spain is a bit like Italy. Stuff only happens on a regional level. It's like you don't get big announcements from the government in Madrid about things like this. They're really worried about tourism. You know what I mean? It's so important that they keep people coming over on the budget flights. Yeah. No, they don't want to put people off. So we've not heard much, in the local media, and we've got.
Now, look what happens to Fly. They don't want panic. I mean, Spain heavily relies on the tourism. I mean, it's not good news.
No, overnight. No, it's.
So it's got to have a knock-on effect, and the fuel prices will fuel come down. That's what the law. Supply and demand says.
Yeah.
It should come down. I bet it doesn't. I bet it goes up because you love making money.
Yeah, I mean, I heard rumor the Gulf states were going to put the petrol price up. Yeah. put the oil commodity price up because
People are buying
stockpiling, mate.
buying
Everyone's
a lot of
stockpiling.
gold last week.
Yeah.
Been buying a lot of gold, I see people.
Okay.
Small things and all that Kruger garbage. I mean, yeah, because obviously sugar and all that seems to be down across from 6 to 7% and not really bouncing back. But it's standard panic, isn't it? The market correction will come soon. So the ones with money who've bought the shares, sold the shares high, bought them back low, sell them again high, just make a double killing. So if you've got money, you're on to a winner.
I mean, one conspiracy theory I'll end on this one is, I mean, lots of friends, lots of Facebook friends, I've mentioned that obviously big pharma can work on international teams projects to develop a new generation of vaccines they can sell for trillions of dollars to deal with international pandemics. But another thing might be, yeah, possible.
It's not the time for the vaccine yet. The panic isn't so induced.
No.
People are willing to pay like £500 a vaccine yet. There's not enough money in it yet. Like a few million have died.
No, they're going to give it 6 months.
Got the vaccine already, bullshit, innit?
You got to have a death rate in 6 figures. 6 figures death rate for sure. The other thing is, though, mate, in terms of financial speculation, Brexit has gotten really, really boring and slow. And there's not much money to be made for speculating on the Brexit question anymore. But pandemics and what the markets might do, yeah, commodity prices, get your money into gold, that kind of thing.
It's a good trade war excuse because if the USA's managed to pick up customers of China, who's won? The USA's won. They've got a lot of customers of China, possibly oil or whatever, because China have not been able to supply them.
Yeah.
Do you see where I'm going?
Yeah.
Did the USA this to the Chinese? We don't know.
Yeah, the Chinese will do.
The only speculation across.
Exactly.
Okay then.
All right, bud. So we'll develop these themes as the week. We will develop some of these themes as the week goes on. And
I'll be up working tomorrow. I'll be watching the news when I get up.
Yeah. We'll be spending the morning absorbing news media as usual.
Yeah. Let's absorb.
And then we'll be out and about, getting a word on the street in terms of how the pestilence is spreading.
Yeah.
And we probably won't hear very much at all.
Just in case.
We'll be shopping. I'll be at the supermarket every day checking how the supplies the stock is going. And generally we'll be delving deeper into the fear which is gripping the hearts and minds of every nation. Okay. Alright. Bonne soirée. Hasta la vista. Buenas noches. Ciao.
Peace out, brother.
Alright, bye. Right, good night to everyone then. It'll be we'll focus on the Costa Blanca tomorrow with Frankie. Paul will be back with some news of what's happening in the northwest of England, fallout from the great Manchester United victory over some very quiet as a mouse Manchester City neighbours tonight. And I'll be delving more into the question of infection in the Orihuela Costa, brought back by feckless baby boomers who travel around the Mediterranean and seem to constantly get on flights and carry viruses with them. Alright, so as I said, peace out.